I'm sure you've heard of the recent changes in the SAT set to be put into effect in 2016, but how will these changes affect the future of the students who will be taking it? Will these changes help combat the recent surge of popularity in the SAT's counterpart, the ACT? I would like to think so. I think the SAT has what it takes to help combat the ACT because of its much bigger name recognition and that College Board has created a brand around itself. Together with this and the changes that will be discussed, the SAT has a better chance at fighting back against the ACT. The SAT, or the Scholastic Aptitude Test, which it is abbreviated for, is a test which is currently separated into three major parts, which are critical reading, math, and writing. The scores range from 600 to 2400 and takes close to 4 hours to complete. The ACT is abbreviated for American College Testing and is a test that is separated into five major parts, which are English, math, reading, science, and the optional essay portion. The scores range from 1 to 36 and takes about 3.5 hours to complete. I believe one of the most major reasons why the SAT is changing is the recent rise of ACT participants in coastal states, in which the SAT was more popular in previous years. This is because the ACT has an optional essay, and that is one of the most major changes that is going to happen to the ACT. Here's a side-by-side comparison of both tests. Some of the major things to focus on is the optional essay and the ACT not being penalized for incorrect answers and fewer amount of sections. This is a comparison of both tests before the change was announced. After the change, both would have an optional essay and no penalty for incorrect answers. There are 8 changes that will be incorporated into the new redesigned SAT. I will discuss 5 of what I believe to be the more important changes. The first one, and I believe most major one, is the optional essay. If students decide they would like to take it anyway, it will be very different from the one given right now in that the essay prompt will be given well ahead of time and only the source material will change. This new redesigned section will pay attention not only to words themselves but to the words around them. It will be based on the context in which they appear. College Board has decided to do this because they want students to actually use and remember the words rather than memorize them and forget them once the test is finished. Rather than answering questions that are based on an absurd situation in the redesigned essay, students will answer problems that directly relate to real-world situations. In this English section, not only will there be literary work, but charts, graphs, and passages similar to ones used in the classroom, in college, and in the workplace. In this new redesigned math section, the SAT will focus on 3 areas which are problem solving and data analysis, the heart of algebra, and passport to advanced math. Problem solving and data analysis is all about being quantitatively literate. It includes using ratios, percentages, and proportional reasoning to solve problems in college and career contexts. The heart of algebra focuses on the mastery of linear equations and systems, which helps students develop key powers of abstraction. Passport to Advanced Math focuses on the students' familiarity with more complex equations and the manipulation they require. I do believe one of the best changes to come to the SAT after the optional essay is not being penalized for wrong answers. This gives students the opportunity to guess even if they don't know the answer, with the worst case scenario being that you lose nothing. In recent years, there has been a popularity growth of the ACT being taken by more students. As the graph demonstrates, the ACT was a bit behind on the SAT, but has gradually been creeping up on it. As shown, the ACT took over the SAT in 2010. This map shows the preference of the SAT and ACT to the senior class of 2016. The SAT is shown in blue and the ACT is shown in red. At the time, the SAT was more popular in both population-dense areas and amount of states with 26 compared to the 24 that the ACT has. The SAT has the 3 most populous states, which are California, Texas, and New York. As with the previous map, this map shows the preference of the SAT and the ACT, with the senior class of 2013 instead of 2006. You can see the difference with the amount of states being switched. The ACT now has 26, while the SAT has 24. Yet, the SAT still has California, Texas, and New York, which are the most populous states, showing that the SAT is still more popular in some regards. This is a graph of the average SAT scores of college-bound seniors over the years. As you can see, there has been a gradual decline of average grades, and I believe the changes being implemented in 2016 will help combat this situation. Thanks for listening, and have a great one.